The
kingdom of heaven is at hand. Last week we concluded with the fact that until your information is blessed, you've not yet understood it. And today we're going to begin looking at the systems of the brain. There was a young man at the age of 15 that lost his life a couple of days ago. From what I understand, seemingly protecting someone else, keeping some other people from being shot. He was shot himself. He played sports, played football in Knoxville, and someone who I went to high school with was actually one of his trainers, preparing him for the sport. And for the way that it impacted him, the trainer, it helps me to realize some things as to why, again, we're actually having to understand this about our brains. Because there are things that you have to know how to get beyond, but you won't learn how to get beyond them until you realize how to properly think about things and how to process things mentally. Right. And that is something that, again, y'all know my passion about understanding this and about how much this plays a part in how your faith works. Because, again, if you don't know how to mentally develop properly, then you're not going to know how to apply faith when it's time to apply faith, and you're not going to know when to actually apply action when to apply faith. And all of it goes together. Because, again, faith without works is dead, but you have to have the faith in the proper thing in order to do the right work. Okay. So a lot of the wrong work has been getting done because there hasn't been a right mindset about the things that need to be done. So that's why we've been looking at this and the way we've been looking at it, because I don't want to just skim over it. I want to make sure that you understand that how you think about who you are and where you're at and what you do is going to play a big part in how successful your season's going to be, even when it's your season. And that's what you got to get. That's what you got to understand about this. That's why we started out, and our scripture reading was Philippians 4. And if you'll turn there to Philippians 4, verse 8 and 9, that's what I wanted to start out on, to get you to look to where we can start looking at these systems. Now, what we looked at previously were pillars. Those are actually different and separate pieces of the actual brain. This is like the system by which those pieces start to work. And then there's basically 5 different systems of the brain, and I gave you those. Those are the deep limbic system, the basal ganglia, the prefrontal cortex, the cingulate system, and the temporal lobes. And I know that seems like science class for you, but again, these are the things that God constructed us with. And when the word tells us that we're fearfully and wonderfully made, He's equipped us with these things. But if you don't learn how to use them, then you end up missing out on some of the goodness that He's got designed for us, not because He didn't prepare us for it and not because He didn't equip us for it, but His people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Don't even have knowledge of yourself. Don't even understand yourself. And therefore, it's hindering all of your advancements of life. So with that, I want you to see this in Philippians 4, verse 8 and verse 9. It says, finally, brethren. That's a need for you to make sure that you understand who he's talking to right here. Finally, brethren. The fact that the brethren have to be addressed with this tells me a whole lot. Tells me a whole lot, because the fact that he's got to say, finally, brethren. So if you don't get nothing else, make sure that you get this. Make sure you get this right here. Whatsoever things are true. And that again, if I were to just take the time that it actually takes to break each one of these down, we'd be here for about 6 to 8 weeks. Because when you start saying true, whatsoever things are true. See, a lot of the stuff that you hinder your thought processes with ain't even true stuff. It's imagined. It's stuff that you're dreaming up in your head. It's stuff that you're imagining. It's stuff that you think that they're thinking about you. And it ain't even true. They didn't say it. You feel like they implied it because of the way they turned their head and looked at you and said what they said. They was looking down on me. You don't know that they was looking down on you. They might have had a bad day. They might have been fighting back gas while they was trying to talk to you. You say, well, they got that funny, they had a funny look on their face. Once again, they might have had indigestion. And you thinking that they're thinking something about you because they said this and they looked like this when they said that. And that's what you got to understand. He said, make sure that you're focused on what is true. Then he goes on and says, whatsoever things are honest. See, there's a lot of dishonest stuff going on. There's a lot of dishonest stuff that starts out at a young age. When the word says that foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it forth from them, that should clue you in on some stuff. That should clue you in on the fact that they're going to dream up some stuff. They're going to say some stuff that ain't nowhere near true because it's in their head and they don't know. They just came out of a womb a little while ago. So they're going to have some stuff dreamed up. It's a monster under my bed. It ain't no monster under your bed. There's a monster in the closet. There's nothing in the closet. That's why you have to go and begin to show them things that are true, things that are honest. Don't just say go back to bed. Go show them ain't nothing underneath the bed. See, the problem is half the parents scared too, because that's how they grew up. That's how we got them to go to sleep. You just go to sleep and the monster will go away. If there was a monster, you going to sleep ain't gonna make the monster go away. So once again, we're talking about true and honest things. And then we complicate it even more. Well, the tooth falls out, well, the tooth fairy gonna come. Well, it's Christmas time. Santa Claus is coming. All of this different stuff, dishonest. And then you go through the putting on the big show and all of these different things of making it appear like this is real. And then wonder why it becomes so difficult to get them to believe in Jesus Christ.
Right.
Because the way that you've shown them that stuff, now they looking for, hey, where's the evidence? You said Santa Claus was this man.